Hi everyone. Well, I'm here today to share with you a few projects that I've been working on this past week. I've been very busy. This is actually a birthday gift. And by the time you guys see this video, the recipient has already received her gift. So I decided to make a stick pin cushion. And the last time I made this type of stick pin cushion was about a year ago. And now let me go ahead and share with you the patterns. And most of you, if you've been here for a while, you'll know what I'm talking about. So does that look familiar? Yes. I made another dress form stick pin cushion. And this one, let me tell you, I am so much in love with it. I just love it a lot, and I know that this person that this is being gifted to is going to treasure it because this is totally her style. So let me go ahead and share with you. The pattern comes from DIY Dish. They have a YouTube channel, so I will put both the link to their channel where they show you how to construct this. And also I will put the direct link where you could print out this pattern. And because the first time I tried looking around, I couldn't find it. It was very hard. So I'm going to go ahead and put a link for you guys to make it easier on you guys. Now, if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen that I was tea dyeing some fibers. I had tea dyed, I had purchased this crinkled organza fabric some time ago, like few years ago, and so I cut them in 2-inch strips, and I don't know how many I cut, but I cut a lot. And I also, not only that, but also I cut so many feet or yards of seam binding, cheesecloth, and crocheted trim, some Venice lace trim as well. I went ahead and I just tea dyed everything. So the purpose of me tea dyeing is to make it look more vintage. So this dress form is vintage style, shabby vintage, I say it is. This is a fabric that I actually picked up, but I'm going to share with you the pin cushion. You're probably saying, okay, can you just show it and stop talking? Well, anyways, the fabric I purchased from shabbyfabrics.com. And I just love it. So I was waiting for the fabric to come in before I can actually start working on this. So here it is. Gorgeous. I'm going to give you a scan through because this thing is pretty high. Look at bling bling. And it stands on those Dollar Tree candlesticks. And I made a skirt, and actually I was inspired by Marlene. She's Uniquely Ella here on YouTube, but I think her channel name is Marlene Plasencia. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look up her channel. She made this beautiful, she altered a dress form. And what I liked about it, that it had wings and it had a skirt. So I scrap lifted the skirt parts on this dress form for this dress form. So here you see cheesecloth. Here's seam binding. That's crocheted lace. And then here is the crinkled organza fabric cut in strips. And what I did to the skirt is pretty full, and I filled it up all around, and it's all tea dyed. It's all tea dyed. And here's the flower. And so what I did is I grabbed a strip of the cheesecloth, a strip of the crinkled fabric, the lace, and the seam binding, and I attached from the widest to the narrowest. And then I folded the widest backwards, like the corners back, and then I just glued it all around. So they're like little clusters, and that's why it looks so full. There's about, I believe about 12 clusters here. So it's really, really full, and I just love it. And then on top of that, I added this Venice lace that I had used on one of my projects as a flower, and it's pretty long. It has these little dangles here. And then I added flat back pearls. This is like champagne color. And then I added on all the flowers in the center. And then I added this, how you call this? Taupe fused pearls that was gifted to me from Anna. And hi, Anna. And and then here's the fabric, the dress form. And this is a shabby fabric. It's like tan on tan that I picked up over at shabbyfabrics.com. So I will put their link down below as well. And then here is the flower I made. And the flower consists of the crinkled ribbon, the crinkled fabric, the seam binding, and the fused pearls. So I did it as a Gatsby flower, where I wrapped it around my hands a few times, and then I tied it in the center. But this thing keeps going in there. But I didn't want it more. I wanted it more fringy, so I went ahead and cut around the center. And then here, that little piece is like really there. And then here, it's an earring from Forever 21. When we all went, like most of us went crazy at Forever 21 picking up earrings and necklaces and stuff because they were 75% off. So this piece went perfect with this dress form. I just love it. And I feel like chopping that off. Okay, there it goes. So yeah, and then I put a necklace. I used this trim that I picked up from Joann's, and then here is was an earring as well too, and I just took the earring parts, and I thought this color went very well with this. And then it's my only knob that's like a peachy color or tan color from Michaels, and I just love it. It's just gorgeous. I know she's gonna like it. I know she's gonna like it. So that's my dress form. And then I have a mess like underneath here. So apart from the dress form, oh, where do I put this? Okay. So apart from the dress form, I also wanted to make a needle book for her. And I believe she did one already. But if she's anything like me, she doesn't keep what she makes. She always gives them away when she does swaps or stuff. So I decided to make one for her to keep as well. And this was on my bucket list as well to make. So I've been wanting to make this, and now I could just scratch it off. And I used the same fabric to make the needle book. And here it is. I love it. I love it. So I don't know how big this measures. I'm not sure, but what I did is there's the fabric right here, and then I added lace, so you might see lace here. And then on top of that, I added this applique, and I purchased this applique from the Goodwill some time ago. I don't know if it was meant to be a veil. It was prepared to be used as a veil, and then they just never got around to adding the beads on it. So I found it at the Goodwill for very cheap. So I used it here. I still have a lot of pieces left, and I just wrapped it all around, you know, on the binding. What I did is I grabbed this fabric, and I also grabbed this fabric that you could find at Joann's in the Chanel section, where they sell Chanel, whatever, and very puffy to make flowers as well. So that's what I purchased this for originally a couple of years ago, to make flowers, but this was perfect. So I cut a piece of this, and then it's batted, so it has batting on it as well. And then on the binding, I added these shabby rosettes, and then in the centers is bling. They used to be for hair. They have the little curly cues at the back, and you just spin it or twist it into your hair if your hair is braided or something. So I just took it off, and I added it as centers. I added some little sew-on rhinestones here. The flower here is a Gatsby flower that I made, but this time I just left it as a flower and I didn't cut it in the center. Here is a Hello Kitty that from my stash, and then here is some rhinestone trim that was gifted to me by Anna as well. And the Gatsby flower consists of I cut like 1-inch shreds of this fabric, seam binding, this little dainty braided trim, which I use this trim, I tea-dyed it as well, and the fused pearls. So that's one flower. Here's another flower from my stash, and I added 2 feathers because it didn't have any. And then I made some ribbon roses. So I made a ribbon rose here, and I added a bling center. I made another ribbon rose here. I added a bling center. Here's that crazy looking pearls that I like to use. Cabochon. Here's a brass butterfly and added blings. And then here's some burlap leaves from Michaels, and I just added stickles on it. And then this is also trim from Michaels from maybe a couple of years ago. Had in my stash, and I just used it there. And then here's a bow from my stash as well. Put it in the corner. And then what I did here is, after I adhered everything, I added this trim that was gifted to me by Anna as well, and I tea-dyed it. And then here's some dainty lace that I butted together to form, you know, decorative trim on this. And then I added the dainty braided trim, but you really can't see it because the pearls are covering it. I wasn't sure if I wanted to add pearls or not, but I did after all. Then here is a closure that I made with the crinkled organza, so she could just tie it up. And then in the inside, I added all around this Venice lace from Hobby Lobby, natural color, it's cut in ivory color. And then I also added all around this box pleated trim, and then on top of that I added this braided trim as well, all around. And then in the center I added trim from Joann's with a taupe ribbon. Very pretty, I just love it. And then in the corners, let me see, I don't want to drop anything. Okay, so here in the corner you see a flower, and this flower is from those Jolie Boutiques flowers, and I just popped off the pearl that was in the center, added a little applique, and then one of my ribbon roses that I made, and I added a bling center. And then here is ivory tulle pearl spray from, I believe, Hobby Lobby, that was gifted to me again from Anna, and feathers. So I just love it. And then on the other corner I added again 3 appliques, and then I made another 3 ribbon roses, added blings in all of them in the center. Here's a flat back pearl, and then here is a scissor charm that used to be a ring, and I just took the rings part off and just glued it there. So that is my needle book that I also made for her. And what is a needle book and a dress form stick pin cushion without stick pins, right? So I also made some stick pins for her, and I just love how these came out. All the beads were from Jesse James and some glass pearls, so I did not glue any of them in case if she wants to rearrange the beads or possibly use the beads for another project. But here's one. These are glass beads, some of my crystals from my stash, and lampwork beads. And I believe I picked this up at Michael's, I don't remember. So that's one. Now this is Jesse James beads, Jesse James bead and crystals. Love it. And yellow is her favorite color, so I made it in yellow and vintage colors. This is, if you remember, I picked up these beads at Michael's, so I made a stick pin with it. Glass pearls. And this is all Jesse James beads and some findings, some gold findings. Then this is beads from Hobby Lobby. And they come in a strand like this with crystals and pearls and the little rondelles. And I have a tutorial on how you could use those beads to make stick pins when they have everything already in there. So I'll put the link down below as well to my tutorial. And then these are Jesse James, and they had the rondelle and the bead. All I added was just the bead caps. Gorgeous. I hope you can see, because the way I have my camera set up, I can't see very well. I just see a shadow. Okay, so I combined yellow and pink on this one. And I believe I found this bead at Michael's. And crystals. Love it. This one I think is so cool because I added charms. Dangle charms. I added dangles. I don't have that bead spacer that has a little loop where you could add dangles to it. So I made my own dangles using chain. And these are all Jesse James beads. And all I did was just use gold spacers from my stash. Gorgeous. Here's another one. These are all vintage colors because those are her favorite. She's into vintage style. So here's another one I made for her. Jesse James beads. This is another one that I made with a dangle. Jesse James beads. I love using their beads because they provide so much sparkle on the stick pins, and I just love it. Here's another one with using her favorite colors. Yellow. And then here's all Jesse James beads. Love it. Very sparkly. Then here's another one. These glass beads I picked up at Michael's. And then these are Jesse James as well. And this one. And this one I think is so cute because I have these little tiny cameos, and my purpose of bringing them to the store was so you can make stick pins out of them. And that's what I did. And they look just like Webster pages. But I have these little tiny cameos available in my shop. So I made a stick pin out of it. Or I used it as part of a stick pin. So yeah, so that's her stick pin cushions, her needle book, and stick pins that I made for her. And I also made her a card. And this time I used her favorite colors, and I really love this card. I did another crisscross card. And I used this paper pad, Breeze, from My Mind's Eye. Very pretty. I got that. I got this, can't remember if it was in a rack or in a swap, and I can't remember who it was from. I am so sorry, but thank you so much because I finally used it. So I just love how this card came out. So this is how it looks like. I did a lot here. So I actually thought I didn't have much gray, but apparently I did. So I went ahead and I used the paper. I did the crisscross card. Then I used the paper. This is the inside where I'm going to write my notes. And this is the inside of the card. And I used this lace. It's really wide. So it's like this wide, the lace. And it's stretchy. And I don't know if I purchased it or if it was gifted to me. I can't remember because I wrapped it around my spools. And it's in my basket. So I can't remember who gave it to me because I didn't write a note. And then this, it was from my stash. And this is that trim that you could pick up at Hobby Lobby. Beautiful. And then I added yellow flower pearl trim that I have available in my shop. So I did that all, you know, where it crosses. Then this flower right here is one of those from Jolie's Boutique flowers. Perfect. It's my last one, and it went perfect with this material right here. So what I did is in the center I added this, and this actually I got it on clearance, and I only found one at Michael's, and they're called wedding picks, and they look like this. So I added it here. Then what I did is I added a doily feather, and then I made a spray. So I got this from someone, and I can't remember again. I'm so sorry. And then these I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and this is also from Hobby Lobby. And I just made a spray, alternating. And I just love how this came out. And then this is flowers, yellow flowers from Hobby Lobby as well, with bling centers. I added it there. And then I just did a happy birthday here. I'm sorry, I stamped a happy birthday. So yeah, so this is her little birthday card. I hope she likes it. Actually, I'm sure she'll like everything that I've created for her. I had so much fun. I've been very, 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 very busy this week crafting, trying to get all of this together for her. So like I said, by the time you guys see this, she has already received her package. So alright everyone, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and until next time, bye.